Do you feel like your business is stuck in the slow lane? Are you struggling with inefficiency and missed opportunities? In this episode, we simplify Agile, a powerful framework for streamlining workflows and improving collaboration and sparking innovation. Even if you've never heard of Agile, you'll discover how this mindset can help you work smarter, adapt faster, and grow your business with less stress. And as a bonus, we'll reveal how AI tools can take the heavy lifting off your plate by automating tasks and delivering insights that drive results perfect for small teams like yours and mine. And I'm really interested in that. So stay tuned to learn of how to build a business that's faster, leaner, and ready to thrive in today's competitive market.
Welcome to the Lead Machine Growth Show, where you will discover how to tackle your tech, master your message, and design your dream. Paul Guyan, the mastermind behind the Lead Machine, introduces you to trailblazers who inspire you to implement life-changing solutions and systems you can model to nurture your leads and get your offers seen by your ideal clients who will invest in themselves and you. Be sure you visit our website at www.leadmachinegrowthshow.com. While you're there, subscribe to us via your favorite network. Now, tune in and get ready to transform your vision into reality.
The Lead Machine Growth Show. I'm Paul Guyan, your host, Lead Machine coach, best-selling author, and founder of the Lead Machine Marketing Group and Mastermind. I'm dedicated to helping you master your message, tackle your tech, and design your dream life. So whether you're just starting out or taking your business to the next level, let's get this conversation started. So today we have Dare Makun. Is that correct, Dare?
Dara is fine.
Dare. He's a dynamic Agile coach, productivity consultant, and he's the author of Agile Made Simple, a small business guide. It's a practical guide to transforming small businesses through streamlined project management and innovative strategies. And I'm familiar with Agile, but not for business. I'm familiar with in the software development field. So this is going to be interesting. He has a certification in project management professional, which is a PMP, and SAFE 5 Agilist, and extensive experience as a Scrum Master and product owner. He specializes in helping small business teams break down silos and enhance collaboration and achieve operational excellence. He aims to empower leaders with actionable tools that drive efficiency, boost team morale, and deliver measurable results. He's the founder of DAPM Solutions. Dare leverages his experience using Agile techniques and AI-driven solutions to simplify complex challenges, making growth accessible for small businesses across all industries and even with small teams. So whether through workshops, coaching, or engaging talks, he inspires teams to embrace adaptability and innovate fearlessly and achieve their goals with clarity and confidence. So find out more at agilemadesimpleBook.com. Dare, welcome, sir. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here, Paul.
Yeah. So we were talking earlier before we started, and I always ask my guests, what was the spark that made you jump into the authorship or to whatever it is that the expert is doing? So what inspired you to write this book, Agile Made Simple?
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. So first of all, I don't consider myself an expert. I like to see myself as a learner, and I'm a lifelong learner, and part of that learning is what brought me to being an author and being a coach. So in the past, of course, I've been on teams. I had an interesting background. I worked in brand management before coming over to the States and going back to school, got my MBA. Then from MBA, I got interested in technology, in project management specifically. And I don't really have a tech background, but I love technology. So I started to learn and be around tech folks. I learned how to code. I discovered very quickly this isn't something I like to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got patient. You staring at, bunch of codes all day. That's not me. But I do like to help teams coordinate, like help you get the tech out. So that led me down the path of project management. And from there, when after my MBA, got right into taking the PMP. I had a PMP a mentor at the time who was a seasoned project manager. So he took me through what I needed to do to get the certification. After getting the certification, if you know about PMP, to maintain that certification, you need 60 PDUs, which is essentially you need to continue learning to keep your PMP certification. So the way I went around that was I volunteered to teach. Even just right after school, I started to teach. So I worked with getting more students involved in signing up for the PMP. And I started to teach people looking to get the certification. I found I had a thing for coaching and teaching.
Yeah.
That's been, that was my path towards project management. While I wrote the book, well, life happened to me it's about over a year now, and I got laid off my other position that I had, and I just thought I really didn't like to go back to corporate America. I wanted small businesses because I like if I found out I like working with like my teams, all the development teams I worked on. It's always interesting. Like I always learn a lot. I like to be in the room with all those developers who are way smarter than I am. I'm learning stuff from them, learning about new technologies, how we're deploying this and that. So I figured I like that space better, and I can do this outside of being in the middle of corporate politics and such, which I do well with. And so I decided, hey, I can put all my thoughts into write about agility, especially within the context of a non-technical teams, right? So how can I take what I learned from being an agile project manager and share it with a small business owner, a mom and pop shop down the road who has a team, and they're dealing with all of this task they have to do? How can I help them think the way we thought and turn out products with technology? And so I took all of those learnings, put it into paper, and voila, I had the book. With the book came the opportunity to actually teach folks how to use agility for what they're doing, especially with the advent of AI right now. There's so much you can do and get done if you have the agile and AI mindset, which is my edge, really. That's what I teach.
And in these small corporate usually have larger teams, more resources and things like that. As a small business owner, and many of the people that I work and I coach with, and that my clients, they have these great ideas. They want to get from A to B, A to Z. They want to get there, but they don't know how. They know they have to implement ideas without implementation are just ideas, and they never get anywhere. And so that's where that's what I've done. I've been in the implementation space and worked with project managers and coach project managers and things in my past to and work with them to learn those methods so that I can help my employers or my clients now get results. So how is Agile applied in? Well, business owners don't really think as implementation as projects, but I do and you do. And so how does that define? How do we help them understand that in the context of Agile?
Well, so I like to start with the very basic understanding of what agility. So agility is common again in the software space. That's where it came from. A bunch of developers, software engineers decided in, I think, 2001, hey, the way we're delivering products, technology is not the right way by the time we deliver it to the customer. It's not exactly what they asked for. Maybe 2 years, maybe you initiated. You remember project management goes through 5 stages, right? You initiate, you plan it, then you execute, then you monitor and control, then you end it, and then the cycle begins, right? And before you actually get into the project and get it delivered, the customer's needs and scope has changed for the project, right? So
Right.
how do we mitigate that, right? That's why what led these teams to go talk about how we can get better. So there was something
Right.
called the Agile Manifesto, which was based on 4 core values: individuals and interactions over processes and tools, right? Working products or solution over extensive documentation, customer collaboration over just negotiating with the customer all the time. And then fourthly, responding to change over following a plan. Those are the 4 principles that guide the 4 values, core values that guide agility. I think all of this, any small business owner can relate to, right? You want to be
Yeah.
a person who is valuing your people more and delivering a working solution. It doesn't matter how big, how grand your plan was. If the solution doesn't work, doesn't. And giving your customer what they want. So I said, now let's do reverse engineering. How do we, when you have your iPhone, that's my best knowledge. I like to use that a lot. When these products were delivered to us, especially the iPhone 16, when they sold it with the promise of Agile, Apple intelligence, right? But when you received the phone, it didn't quite have that. It was sold to you with a promise, but it didn't quite have that. So think about it. Your Facebooks, any software you use as a small business owner, they're always going through updates all the time. That's Agile in progress, right? That's iteration, meaning you don't have to have 100% product or service to get it out to your customers. Start small, get it out to them, with the hope that with the customer's input, you can continue to improve on that product, pretty much. Same product, you just continue to iterate. So think about it. The small business owner, you have a service, a product, and you're waiting for it to be perfect to get it out the door. You have to think fast. In the technology space, because competition is so stiff and AI is, for instance, AI is the new thing now. You really have to be moving fast to get your products out there. And think about how you and me consume information, Paul. We probably consume information on our phone. I don't know about you. I get my news on my phone. I don't do print that much. I do print occasionally. I only do print when it comes to books nowadays, or, basically I read everything on my phone. That's the way we have to think about how we getting products or services out to our customers. So I always say to a small business owner, think about how you are consuming information. How do you want your customers to get your information, or whatever service you're getting to them? So we need to start to think about how we can deliver value in small increments quickly and continue to improve upon that value we deliver to the customer. So that's how I would say we should think as small business owners on everything we're putting out there.
Yeah. So to kind of repeat back what you said is if you have a product, you need to get the first version of a viable version of a working product in front of your customers, get feedback, and continually to iterate or rinse and repeat, so to speak, to improve and add functionality. But you get the basic functionality that you know that they wanted, that they said in the first place that they wanted. Is that about right? And then you rinse and repeat, and you eventually you've got a full-fledged mature product, and it still matures. It continues to mature throughout its life cycle, its entire life.
Correct. Now, you just hit on the point that this is a term or phrase called minimum viable product, the MVP, which is what you're explaining. So what version of your product? So when you develop, and you're familiar with this, Paul, you've been a technologist, you put in, you write code, and you send me, you test it, and then now we want to validate this with not a tester now, but now users. Maybe you have a power user, super user. So what version of this product can we get out to the users so they can use it and give us information? That's how we need to think. So in your world, in my world, in a small business owner's world, what is it that we can, what's the minimum most viable product? I'd like to replace that viable with valuable product, right? Like, what is the valuable thing we can get out to our customer right now with the hope that they use it? And maybe you know very quickly, hey, this project or product we're going to invest a lot of money in, maybe we don't need to, because now customers tell us they don't really like it. We can pivot.
Yeah.
But you don't go too far into the project and into expenses and into, your budget, and then realize, wait a minute, we just wasted money on a whole bunch of stuff that no one really wants. So we want to start with, what's the best viable product we can get out there, get it out, good or bad, get the feedback, get comfortable with getting feedback in whatever capacity it is. Use that feedback to your advantage. Feedback should be seen as your best tool in this, once you get into the mindset of agility. And so agility from when I write in the book, I'm looking at it from the point of view of having a mindset of thinking about, hey, things are changing rapidly. How can I adapt? How can I be more efficient? How can I collaborate better? How can I, keep my customer at the center of everything I'm doing and continue to improve? That's really what it is about.
Yeah, and I'll give an example because when I work with some of my clients, they might ask for a report, like a dashboard.
Right.
So I made a dashboard that tracks new web sales by market and by month and by product type. And so the first version of that, there's probably 3 or 4 versions of that product, because it says, well, can it do this? Can it do that? But can I see this I want to see this by sales rep now, not by product. I want to see it by sales rep to see if a certain sales rep might be causing more revisions in the process, in the art design process. And then they did it by artists also. And so we're able to track many different variables in different ways now, and it's dynamic. It feeds from the accounting system and from the scheduling system. So we have a real good feel for what that is. But it didn't start out perfect in the beginning. It was viable though, because it gave good information. They said, hey, wow, this is great. What if we looked at it like this? So I have 2 of those dashboards, one for 3 of them actually, one for shipping, one for the art department for their on-time performance, and for sales and sales analysis for new web sales. So they didn't start out perfect, and they were done manually at first. And then it wasn't until they said, we could make a dashboard and make this dynamic feed so to eliminate some of the manual data entry, we could just take the data that's already being published and just absorb that data. So that was an iterative process like you're talking about.
Correct.
Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. And that's really what it's about, right? So what part of our product or services can we actually potentially get out? Never wait to have 100%. No, it's not about perfection, but more about progress. How we progressing, how we, learning as we're progressing. So I get the product out, I learn definitely the product we're going to get out in 2 weeks, if you run the sprint, would be better than what you churn out the week before, because now you have input from the customer, which is critical, because the point of agility is I'm not just guessing about what the customer wants this time, but instead I'm working with them with their input through here. And you could do this in many ways. Like in your scenario, I don't know how you're getting the word, the testing out, but you could use survey. You could, and you get this all the time on your phones. We're doing a quick thing. You provide an update, and a lot of these tech companies have super users that help them test specific products before they go out to the broader audience. So it's not to say you're not going to have 20 priorities you want to focus on, but you can only get out 2. The point is, which of these 2 is the most valuable to the customer? And that is the key. You have to discover on your team, what is the value proposition here? What is it that is most valuable out of these 10 things we have to do? Which 2 should we prioritize? Time is limited. So is money. So is everything else that makes a project work or not, on resources and all that. So you got to really hone in on what's my best way of using all these resources and team that I have. What's the best way to use them effectively, efficiently, to get my product out faster and get value to my customer faster.
I just had the thought, you can apply this agile method to marketing, to creating an ad campaign, and instead of your having a survey or a conversation with someone, your sales and your conversions and the number of leads that you create, the number of sales you get, could be your feedback. And so you could iterate through testing the marketing campaign to optimize it. And that's how you could apply that to Agile. So just so that the audience has, it isn't just restricted to products. You could use it for relationships.
Thank you for saying that. Because what I try to do in the book is I use a lot of examples. So these are one of the examples. I use marketing agencies a lot. So first, you have a campaign. Think about your client and marketing agencies. You're delivering a marketing campaign for a client. You can structure this out as an agile project, essentially. So to your team, hey, okay, this is a campaign. We have 5 options. We have maybe 5 creatives. Because I worked in marketing as well. So you see 5 creatives are created. The team likes one, but maybe, and when you're working on marketing environment, you see copywriters get to wordsmith everything. The creative guys, the designers get to over design. And so some people, somebody's going to like this one, somebody isn't gonna. The most important person here is the customer,
right?
So, while we test out with the customer these 5 campaigns, hey, we like this one, we like that one, but what do you think? Get the feedback. Then in the next iteration, take that feedback, go work on it. Next iteration, and that's where I'd say you can even run that as a sprint. Meaning, what is a sprint? A sprint within the Scrum context is. So Agile, there are different methodologies on running, and you hear this a lot. Agile is a methodology. It's not one methodology. It's really more of a mindset on delivering products, product services, like you said, iteratively, continuously learning, right? So you want them, and there's maybe about 2-3 ways people use agility mostly these days. Mostly Scrum or Kanban. Those are the popular frameworks that are out there that really most teams use. There's others, and I talk about them in the book. However, those 2, people can actually use a combination or take things out of these different processes that can work for you. For instance, I was listening to your podcast, the one you did for the new year, about how you got to present, stay positive, and make it personal, when setting your goals. And the brain likes this quick wins. So that dopamine gets from winning. This is what running a sprint is. So a sprint definitely is, you're sprinting, you have a big goal, okay? And then we take this big goal, we break it into small chunks. Right? Small chunks we can manage. Maybe we have a big 1-year plan of what we have to do. Then we break it into smaller chunks, break those 2 chunks, and we make those chunks into what can we finish in a month. In a month, maybe we deliver it in 2 sprints. A sprint is normally a week or 2-week thing, whereby you are looking at your backlog, which is what we have to do, and then prioritizing what we have to do. Then we take out from that list, say for this sprint, for this chunk of 2 weeks, we want to complete X. We put all our efforts in completing it, give it a name, make it fun. When we deliver it in 2 weeks, we celebrate that win.
Yeah.
We celebrate that win. The team is more motivated. There's nothing as good as saying, oh yeah, we delivered on this small. Remember that big work can be overwhelming. And usually that's what stops people from getting into it. But
Yeah.
we've broken it down into small chunks that's more manageable. And we say, okay, for this 2 week sprint, we want to focus on this, deliver it, look at it, present it to the team that needs to present it, get the feedback, which is what you do when you're doing a demo. I do a demo to, okay, this is the work we did in this last sprint. Here it is. You give us that feedback. We take it back, go improve on the product. Deliver in another 2 weeks, come back, have a better product. When you do this 3 months in now in the quarter, that big 1 year plan now for quarter A, hey, we are able to deliver on. This is our MVP in 1 quarter. So this would have taken us a year, but now we have done this in 3 weeks and 3 months.
Yeah.
Pretty much maybe 6 sprints, depending on how it's broken out, right? And that's the way to think about agility. And there are many ways, and I talk about it in the book, how to, what aspects of Agile, in the grand scheme of things, you can take out and use depending on your situation. So I wouldn't say you could go online and Google what's Agile and see all of that. This is not it, right? That's not gonna, it'll help you get an idea of a definition, but I wouldn't say go ahead and do Scrum when the problem you're trying to solve is not gonna be solved by using Scrum. You have to first understand what it is, what's the mindset, what we need to have a mindset of pivoting as an organization, first of all. COVID has taught us you can't really plan and not be in the mindset of switching gears when things happen around us, and they do. You don't have control over them. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. So what are you set up as a team to pivot, not as the owner? So when you're talking agility, you're talking about transparency. Now you fail or fall as a team, not as you. And now you're saying we're keeping the customer at the heart of everything we do, and we want to continue to get better. So if we go back to that manifesto and the 4 values I talked about, the focus is really making people work to deliver value to customers on an ongoing basis and learning from it to get better at delivering that product or service.
Awesome. Can we shift gears here a little bit? Can you give a couple of maybe stories or results or case studies of people that you've worked with that have applied this to create a project or to create a product rather, or a marketing campaign?
Yeah, so I worked with a team. They are in remote Nigeria. They actually are a different setup. They do healthcare. So they're more like consultants. So they do healthcare. They do all of the outreach, the vaccines, and all of that, how it gets to the teams. And they have project managers that help do this, right? So the recent chat I had with them was they were a little bit shocked. How do we use agility for the kind of work we do? We're not a tech company. And I said, yeah, it's really about implementing looking at your team. First of all, what are the bottlenecks you have right now? And just from talking to them, I get a feeling, so there's a lot of, my team works like this, so we want to continue to work like that. That's already a mindset of you're not willing to change. Meaning, if you go into a different environment, a different scenario where things are not going the way you wanted it to, you are going to either shut down or you're not being receptive to change. I see there's a lot you can learn if you decide that, hey, there's a lot I don't know. This is how we've done it, but maybe now there's a better way to do it. So putting the team through we're still working on their workshops and all that, but they already had, just from having initial conversations with them, They already had an understanding of how they're going to go this, attend to their programs, their various programs. They do some vaccines. They did in some places just raising awareness. How we getting this campaign out? Maybe so. One of the suggestions: you test out this campaign, see the response you get, take information back from it, improve upon that campaign. Maybe that campaign didn't get your messaging out correctly. Test out another campaign that we have, that based on the feedback you got from the previous one, right? But you have to have a feedback loop somehow. Whatever we do, we have to create some form of feedback loop. I think that's the missing piece when I talk to some people. How do you just get your product out and you don't have a way to get information back? Or are you able to get information back?
Yeah, sometimes it's like you put a product out there and people are buying it. And so you're glad that they're buying it. And so you just sell more of it. And when they complain, that's when you get feedback.
Yes.
It's not where you're saying, I'd like your feedback or I'm doing this so that I can get feedback. So that reminds me of the Google business profile and Google reviews, getting feedback that way. So if you're doing a campaign, a marketing campaign, you might get feedback that way. So you have to be listening for the feedback because it might not come directly to you, right?
It's not, but that's where, having some kind of system plays a crucial role, right?
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
when you're implementing any of these frameworks, you have to have a way to automate your work and get some kind of feedback. So you get messaging out. I just like to say thank you and thank you for buying my products. If there anything you have any feedback for me, just to make us better. I am a continuous learner. So like I said, even when I practice martial arts, what I use it's the same mindset. I go into a place, if I go into a new dojo, I'm coming in like a white belt. Doesn't matter that I'm pretty advanced in my training, but in this particular dojo, they probably do things differently. They probably they probably are set up different. I want to learn their process first before, by the time I get in there and start working out, they pretty much know, oh, you have some training. I say, yeah, sure, but I'm still a white belt. So going into that mindset of, okay, what can I learn? What can I glean from my environment? And having systems in place to do this helps a lot. Now, AI, the solution that I would say is here to stay. It's something that I also help teams implement and what they do. Having a proper system in place can help you get a lot of information, more than you can even think of.
How can you use AI with Agile? And we mentioned that at the top of the episode, how we can use AI with Agile so that maybe it's not so, it sounds like a difficult process. And so I was going to ask you about people adapting it. But since we're on AI, let's stay there for a minute and talk about how you can practically use what ChatGPT or whatever tools. Let's go down that trail.
Cool. So for me, I have had to use, I help teams customize AI right now. Like I help you customize your ChatGPT. Believe it or not, as simple as it looks like, it's a powerful engine.
Oh, you create GPTs for them.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
For creating everything you want. So how you use Agile and AI is, first of all, you have to have an understanding of what agility is and what it's not. It's not a magic thing, even in the best scenario.
Right. You got to use it.
Fail sometimes, right? So first of all, you have that. So what I have done is I have trained specific GPTs for, if I talk to a client, I need to understand your product. Take me on as a coach. I need to understand your services, what you're doing and all that. And then I take that information, use my AI, which is already trained. What is the best solution for this team? I use my human brain based on what I know, based on what the industry and that AI is done. I build you an AI employee, for instance. I build a customized AI chatbot that'll answer questions on your behalf, do emails, do a lot of things that would take you a couple of other new hires to do. I mean, this is the reality, it's taken the point about the resistance to a lot of, especially small businesses who are a little bit overwhelmed with the whole AI evolution is going to be taking work from, some people and all that. I think the way I look at it is, how can I use this to my own advantage right now? Like, what am I doing in my processes, in my systems, that I can improve on with AI? And that's where I'll come in. So yes, the simple answer is, I have to understand how your business works, and then I'll recommend an AI, an agile framework that will work within that context. And then we'll look at the AI solutions that will work with your teams. And it's a very simple. I've created a series of prompts that I use to do this, and it's amazing how much you can get done with just using even ChatGPT on its own. Just amazing.
So are there tools that are out there? Is some of those prompts in the book that people can do on their own to start working with this?
Well, so if you go into agilemadesimpleBook.com, you can buy the book. You get an overview of what it is I'm talking about. However, you get a bonus of a free ebook on using AI for business. You could start there. When you look there and you have questions, there's an opportunity to get a free assessment. I have an assessment too. Just if you hit me an email, if you schedule some time, look at your business, and happy to help you design what the best tools are for you. So, but from just a low-hanging fruit right now is ChatGPT. If you're not using it, please use it. Learn about it. There's a lot you can get done with ChatGPT, or even the other Gemini is good as well. Put the same prompt in ChatGPT, Gemini, and if you like, try Claude or Perplexity, and see what output you get from there. I find that ChatGPT just is more robust for everything I want to do, especially the 4.0, I04.
Yeah. We brought it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Businesses are already, especially small team business or solo entrepreneurs, are already time starved. And this sounds like a lot. How can, I'm sure there's a lot of resistance. How can small business owners who don't have any time, how can they simply adapt it quickly so they can get things done faster?
Well, start small with, with anything else you're doing. Just start small. If you want to apply agility for what you're doing, start with a mindset of accepting change, right? Change is coming. AI is a big change for everybody. And some people are accepting it. Some people are having a hard time with it, but just accept the fact that change is coming. Change is imminent. And so embrace it, right? That's where I'll start. Look for projects within your space, within what you do, what kind of work you do. How can I apply agility in what I do right now? Because you're going to need it. Think like so the reason I wrote the book is, technology is here with us. It's, you hold it up, you carry it with you everywhere you go, really. You're holding to your phone everywhere you go. So use it. Think about like, I'm selling, or not selling, I'm solving a big world problem with this handheld device. How can I get it to my customers? How can I get information on my service to my customer on this handheld device? In what way can I do it? So start small, the skill there. Develop a growth mindset of continuous improvement, meaning even if I got the product out today, in 2 weeks, I could get a better product out. Share with your customer, hey, I have, will you be interested, on giving me some feedback that this product you got, trying to, make it to your need. Actually, that customer, it's their product. You're trying to, so it's not for me. I'm making the product for you or service, and just use that feedback to your advantage and keep learning. learning is, and the learning never stops. As a new author myself, I read a lot. I've gone through. I use my phone to read. I use micro learning. I use apps that help me summarize books and such, so I can speed up my learning. It's the same way. So to your point, I think your question was, with so much going on, how can we speed up what we're doing? Yeah, just whatever works for you. Everybody's way of learning is different. I'd say, so that it doesn't get overwhelming. That's why you hire a coach to help your team. If you don't want to hire a coach, an agile coach to help you think agile, especially you have a team of excess of 5, 10 people, you probably could use some agility. However, if we just keep learning, focus on practical impact, and build relationships, and have those soft skills that help you communicate better. Because when teams are siloed, I find that even the small businesses, as small as some of them are, they're still siloed. It doesn't help if you're siloed, right? So communication, which is what a project manager does most all the time, is what a small business team should do more of, like communicate with your team. One simple thing you can start today, right now, is initiate a daily stand-up. If you don't already do that, do it. Like a stand-up, what is it? Just 10, 15 minutes max. It's not a long, open-ended meeting. This meeting, we're just checking in. What are our goals? Are we still approaching those? Are we working towards those goals? What do we do? Is there anything blocking us to reach those goals? Okay. If those things are there, identify them. Take out from this 15 minutes, okay, who's doing what? You're doing this, you're doing that, you're doing that. And then there's a tool like a Kanban board. I talk about that all the time. It's a simple, just listen out, like you said about listing out your goals. Use the same concept to list out your goals for your business, and somewhere in some funnel, some document, something, somewhere everyone can see it if they're co-located. Once you have things listed out, it becomes more visible. Now you know, okay, this is our priority. That's not a priority. This is a priority, and this. So it's a to-do, doing, done, simple column. And the doing column, we have too many people on maybe the same resource doing like 5 multiple things. He's clearly overworked. So you're probably not going to get a lot done that way. How can we reduce that person's workload? So just making everything visible and talking about it consistently, tremendous effect on making a team more agile.
Wow, that's a lot. Is there anything else before we go? I'd like to ask you, what are 3 things that that our listeners can do to put these ideas into action?
Well, yeah. So I said fostering a collaborative culture is like one, and just make sure your teams are talking to each other, and promote efficiency and productivity by saying why we're doing this. So when teams start out their agile journey, sometimes the teams that are doing the work, when like in lean, there's a popular phrase in lean management called going to the Gemba. It's like going to where the work is done, right? You need to go to as an owner, go to where the work is done, and let that person know why their work is important, why it's valuable, why. Let them know the why. Because if they know the why, chances are they will understand why we need to democratize access to Agile and AI, for instance. Like, why do we need to use AI? It goes without saying. Because the next company is going to be better than us if they're using AI. They're going to be faster. Anybody using AI now with the person who isn't, trust me, give us both the same task and I'll do it faster than you. It's just that's the way the computer works, right? And just process things faster. So how can we use that to our advantage? That's how we need to be thinking.
Yeah, and I like to ask, and I learned this from one of my guests. Is it Dennis Dowdell? He was on. He asked, I think it was him, asked, what always goes wrong? What always goes wrong? When you know what goes wrong, you know what needs to be worked on. So so then you can apply a methodology of fixing that and iterating through it until that no longer goes wrong. It might be it might need to be automated. It might need to be eliminated. It goes back to your why. Why are we doing this thing?
Right.
So that's a great question to ask.
No, it is. It is a great question to ask about your life. It is a good question to ask about why you're doing what you're doing, and especially why you started your business and everything. Yeah.
Well, Dare, it's been fascinating talking with you and discussing Agile. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with our audience before we go? I know that you have a book and an offer that you'd like to talk about. Is there anything else?
Now they could go to agilemadesimpleBook.com, and because there you could always get to me through there as well. Because when you can download a book about AI, and remember, it's about progress. It's never about perfection.
Okay. And you also can go to in the show notes, you'll be able to get a link. That's Agile Made Simple Book. That's AGILE madesimplebook.com. Or you can get a free business assessment like he mentioned earlier at offer.dapmsolutions.com. That's offer.dapmsolutions.com. And you can find that in the show notes. So thank you so much. And remember, faith and action go hand in hand. So keep the pedal to the metal. Until next time on the Lead Machine Growth Show, I'm Paul Guyon, and Dara, thank you so much, brother, for coming today.
Thanks for having me, Paul. I had a great time.
Thank you for tuning in to the Lead Machine Growth Show with Paul Guyon, where we show you how to tackle your tech, master your message, and design your dream so that you can transform your vision into reality. Remember to visit our website at www.leadmachinegrowthshow.com and enjoy even more great episodes like this one. Again, while you're here, subscribe to us via your favorite network. We look forward to seeing you next time on the Lead Machine Growth Show.